Where are we here? Goodbye, Age of Empires. Welcome to another game of Skyfall 5e. How's it going, folks? How's the week been?
It's hot!
It's hot?
It's hot.
No, you
Can
don't
confirm.
know hot.
Too hot.
Yeah. Well, it's a pleasure to have you all back, and we can set you three into your adventure. We're down a man, but since Soup was missing on the last one, you guys have kind of gotten into a three-way problem anyway, where he won't really be involved, so it kind of works out in a way. To return you guys to where you left off, you're all deep within the sewers and currently dealing with a peculiar problem. After fighting with some were-rats that you've heard rumor of, and their presence has been confirmed by the guard, one of them managed to bite onto Coalcoat, and the last thing that you guys remember seeing was a twitch of his ear and its change from feline to rather mousy. What do you three want to do?
Oh, alright. Did your ear just change?
What? Did what just change?
Feel Coco, feel your ear. Now.
I will slowly reach up and feel both ears.
One of them feels perfectly fine, but the other one cups in your hand in a strange way. It doesn't meet at a point, the fur feels off. Something's wrong.
Oh my god, something's on my head, get it off! And I'll start pulling at it.
Sure. You go to pull at the thing, but when you do, it feels painful. The ear is definitely yours, but it's changed. It feels like a little bit smaller than it was before as well.
You guys,
Coco,
what is happening?
did you get bit by one of the were creatures?
Of course I got bit, they came right at me.
Alright, well, we've lost any hope of finding it. Remember this area, and let's go find you. Mackinac, can you do anything about him?
Well, what's wrong with me? Why can't we keep finding the were-rats?
Because feel your ear again. It looks like a rat. You're a cat with a rat's ear.
We should attempt to transport him to the nearest temple. They may be able to
Does it
assist.
bit me? I thought that was only werewolves. I didn't think it applied to rats.
It's where, like, it applies regardless.
Oh my god. Mackinac, save me.
I'll pick up Coalcoat and start running back.
Your legs work perfectly fine, but Mackinac grabs a hold of you and starts running with you off down the way. Now, are you guys going through this little crawl space thing that you were before and then climbing back?
Yeah.
Okay. The way there is treacherous and difficult, but you do eventually make it back into that large cylindrical column, and going to climb across to the other side, you do manage to get to that little metallic ladder and start to ascend back into the known world. As you're going through the different levels of sewer here, having to give Coalcoat his own agency so he can climb the ladder every now and then, you notice something, Coalcoat. Your form continues to change, and as you're traveling through here, thinking to yourself how much longer you have to go before you emerge into the surface, you feel like a swish of your tail feels kind of unnatural, and at some point you turn and look over your shoulder and realize in horror that it's now like a pink fleshy thing that ends at a tip.
Ah, my tail! My beautiful tail! Look at it! Look what it's become.
Just run faster. Don't think about your pink fleshy tail.
I can't stop. I can't get this image out of my head.
Just keep running forward.
It may be the worst ladder climb of your life with these images moving through your head. You don't know how much will change by the time you get to the surface, or what'll even happen then, if this can be cured. But you guys do eventually get towards that large door. Past which you guys see the guards, the few of them that are currently standing there by the area. They see you three emerge, and when they do, they turn over and look at you, and then a look of horror comes across their faces, easily seen by the torch that one of them holds.
No, look away. Don't look at me.
One of them reaches for his sword, and the other one steps up. And you guys think that you might be attacked in a moment here.
Gentlemen, please, calm yourselves. We have here...
He's got the disease! One of them
Yes,
pulls out his sword.
And what, pray tell, do you think the sword is going to do that a cleric cannot? Move out of our way. We have a temple to go see. This cat is in danger of becoming his utter worst nightmare.
One of the others steps up and says, "Right then, look at him. He's already changed too much."
You dare stand in my way?
I'm just picking up Cold Coat and walking past.
Somebody roll luck for me, please.
You know what? I'll do it.
I believe in
This
you.
is my fate.
Go, our
I
lucky
got
friend.
this.
I believe in you.
Oh God.
Oh!
And
If they try to take like a step forward in what looks like any aggressive manner, I will just like try to summon up whatever courage I can for my friend and just boom towards them. Stand down now.
Please let them save me. I do not want to be a rat. Look at my tail. It's gross and pink. They must save me.
One of them steps forward. He's the one that already has his blade drawn. But another one, like, mom arms him and stops him from moving towards your group. And the third one starts talking. In, like, a low, whispered hush says, "Maybe he can be saved." And they kind of look at each other. And
Maybe isn't the question right now. You will be saved and you shall stand out of our way.
one of them looks at you and says, "You don't give orders to the guard."
No. But I do give orders in case of a dying friend.
There's grumbling amongst the three guards. Mackinac is, still dragging Colcoat away, and it looks like they could move to strike at any moment. The one with the sword is still clearly thinking about it, though your words give him pause, and there's a softening of his features when you mention that. Another one looks over. He's the one that stopped the other guard, and he kind of narrows his eyes and looks at him, and then looks at you and says, "If he turns, we weren't the guards that let you out of the sewer."
I don't know of any guards that were in the sewer other than ones that were doing duty.
Get out of here. Good luck.
Thank you. Safe travels. I'll just start chasing after.
Sure. You meet up with them, and you guys are now back in the city, at one of the lower levels near this sewer entrance. Where are you going? Where are you taking this guy?
Back to the temple, I guess, that we were just at.
The temple you were just at. Ah, yes, where
Yeah.
Fraildas was resurrected and all.
Hey guys, how's it going?
You guys get like
Again.
like frequent flyer miles or something.
Is there a membership card we can subscribe to?
Yeah, exactly.
This
5
has been another
resurrections.
service in the name of Titan.
If you get 3 resurrections, your 4th one is free. Get like a little punch card.
Start converting it into a Temple of Titan.
Now, when you guys return and make it towards the temple, there's a few different priests there and what looks like a couple citizens at the back end that are talking. And the one by the door immediately kind of stops you guys when you step in, and he steps up to you and says, "Goodness, what's happened?" and looks over at Colcoat.
We need a cleric. This is one that can help us with diseases. A paladin, even. Anything.
try to burst him into the temple.
Little squeaks.
Patches of your fur are now beginning to swap over Colcoat. I'd also like you to make for me a wisdom saving throw, please.
That's a 10.
That's not a very good saving throw. you see these patches change, and a strange sort of thought comes over you, which is immediately met by resistance. You look down and see the change, and you go, oh, that kind of looks good, and then immediately snap back to your former self, like you're looking at it in horror again. Something in your mind is beginning to change.
I rush into the temple if no one stops me. Does he stop me?
The priest grabs a hold of you, yeah, and he
I try to fight him off and run inside.
he goes, no, listen to me.
But I need help.
I know, and we can't help you here.
What do you mean you can't help him here?
We know about this disease. It's not something that can be cured by the magic we have. You need a herbal remedy.
Start shaking him. Well, who, man? Who?
There's somebody in town that may be able to help. This priest looks out over the cityscape, and you guys note how it's the middle of the night, and most of the shops are likely closed. He seems to have this thought and turns towards you guys and says, you'll probably have to wake him up, but there is a herbalist in town who's very skilled. He might have something to help you out. Here,
Just tell me what door I need to knock down.
come with me. I'll lead you there.
Follow him.
The priest turns and leaves. Without even telling any of the others of his order, he goes out through the doors and starts running through the streets with you guys behind him. It doesn't take too long before you guys are a few stories and a few blocks away, and eventually make it towards what looks like a squalid little back alley, hardly the place for a bustling shop with heavy business. The door that you're in front of is an old wooden thing, and it has a little herbalist like symbol above it. It's like an apothecary symbol that's used the world over. The priest taps on the door, and there's the sound of like a grumble from the other side, almost like a man being roused from sleep, a sort of snort and a start. The banging happens again, and this time the priest calls in. And he says, wake up! Wake up! There's an emergency!
Yes, wake up. It's very important. Get up right now.
There's a bunch of shuffling, and eventually you guys hear something working at the latch there. And you hear what sounds like a whole bunch of locks that are kind of being undone as somebody eventually opens the door, and you see an elderly man with a long gray beard that sort of moves and twists in and out of itself with different dirty portions, like this person could certainly use a shower. He's got quite the hunch to him, and a little cane in one hand. And he reeks of different, like, spices and herbs. Almost like there's a sort of like a mentholated air about him. And he looks up at you guys and gives you each like a quizzical glance, and then looks over at the priest. And when he looks at the priest, he immediately, pats you, Kolko, like as if to draw attention to you. When he looks over at you, he sees what's wrong, and then goes, "Oh, goodness.
Yes, please fix me. You must fix me. This is terrible. Look at my tail. It's gross. Fix me, please.
Do you guys have coin, or are you just disturbing me for nothing?"
Yes, we have coin. Hurry up. Fix me.
Okay. He starts to turn around, which is clearly a laborious and slow process for the elderly man, but while he does so, he says, "It's gonna cost you." He starts to shuffle off over towards the corner of the room. The priest bids you in and gives you guys a good luck, and then seems to stand by the doorway there. So he enters the room with you guys, but doesn't kind of, follow you entirely into the room. The room that you walk into is only lit by what looks to be a waning lamp over in the corner, casting a sort of eerie, dying flame glow throughout the room. And you see all sorts of different pots and little glass jars and things like that here and there. The elderly man makes his way over towards one of them and starts to mess about with it, lifting the lid and pulling out what looks like an intriguing little vial of some sort. He turns back to you guys, and he says, "This will cure your lycanthropy, or whatever thropy that you happen to have." And as he extends it towards you and sees your interest peak. He then pulls it back and he says, 100 gold. No, 125 for interrupting my nap.
I'll count out the gold quickly.
Okay. He hands over the thing to you as you pay him the 125 gold. But as you grab the thing, Mackinac, he doesn't quite let go of it. He looks at you and he says, this potion will summon the evils that are trapped within your friend. You'll have to defeat them, or he'll fall back into this were-rat form. And he tilts his head down. Forever.
Oh no! We must defeat whatever this is. Quick, let me drink it.
He nods to you, and the priest kind of looks over, and even he has a bit of a ghastly look on his face as this revelation comes.
Then you'll be fine with helping us. We paid a premium fee for waking.
Me? No, I'm going back to sleep. And you're not drinking that in my shop. I won't have you fighting spirits in here. I just cleaned the place.
But where should I fight spirits then?
At least go outside. Now get! Shoo! He takes his cane and he hits you with it, Colcoat. You take 2
Ow.
points of damage.
Oh, no. I get the hell out.
The strong ass cane.
Should we go back to Catman Robotics and do it in the safe room, or just do it out on the street?
You guys can do it wherever you please. The fur that surrounds Colcoat is now 1/3 changed to a darkened gray. One of his ears has changed, his tail has swapped, and his nose seems to have taken on a different character too.
I'm gonna start dragging Colco towards Captain Robotics.
Okay. The priest watches you guys as you leave, and as you turn down the alley and he bids you guys adieu, you think that you hear a solemn and heartfelt prayer as you guys turn the corner and go through the darkened streets. When you finally make it back to Catman Robotics, things are not looking so good for Colcoat. I need once again a wisdom saving throw.
I believe in you. Oh no!
Oh no.
That's a 4.
Okay. By the time that you get there, the sort of urgency and hubbub about the whole thing is actually starting to lose its appeal and its draw on you, Colcoat. When you guys get up towards the door and Mackinac is, fumbling for the key in his pouch there, you kind of have this moment where the door opens and one of them goes to usher you inside because you don't actually compel yourself through the door of your own volition. And you can RP this however you wish, but you actually are pretty comfortable with your current form. More of your coat has changed, leaving only small patches of black left. There's now more gray than there is dark. And your sort of sense of smell is a little bit augmented. You can feel that your teeth have changed and your hands have warped a little bit. You feel a little bit shorter than before, but it doesn't actually bother you. You're like, no, this is good. You guys are here at the door, and Mackinac, you've just turned the key triumphantly, about to go in, and when you do, you step forward and then realize that Colcoat is kind of standing there by the doorway, looking much more rat than cat, and sort of looking about the area like nothing's really the problem. What do you guys want to do?
Hurry. Need to get you inside.
I don't know. I'm kind of getting used to this. This throw's actually not so bad.
You're delirious. There's no way the Colcoat that I know would ever say that.
And look, this weird little naked tail. It's okay. Very smooth.
He's right, it is very smooth.
Here, feel it.
Colcoat, we need to hurry.
Rub the tail on Dak.
Colco.
I'm just getting shook away, just like, no, oh god, why would you do, no, come on, we need to hurry.
What's the hurry?
There's a plate of cheese for you waiting in the safe room.
Whether or not you like cheese before, I leave up to you, but when that's called, it does seem rather enticing. I'd like you to make an insight check, please.
Do you want me to make deception?
Please.
This is when I don't want to roll well. 18.
Oh. Oh.
Oh my god, you beat my deception?
At first, unless it's a plus
13.
13.
Oh boy.
At first, you're like, oh, that sounds good, actually. And then you sort of snap out of it, and you realize from the look on his face that Dominic is trying to trick you. He lied to you. There's no cheese in there.
It smells more of lies than it does of cheese, Dominic.
Yes. Well, that might be true, but there might be cheese afterward. If you follow us quickly.
I could not be so easily fooled by false promises of cheese.
Yes, but about promises of... I believe there was this dessert that I heard, or called peanut butter. How might that affect?
I'm not really hungry.
As Colcoat is standing there in the doorway and you guys are trying to beckon him into the room, he mentions he's not really hungry, and you watch as one of his ears flickers and then turns into that of the mouse as well. He's maybe 10 to 20% cat at this point.
Can I assume he's like turned away from me to talk to Dominic?
Here, I'll draw the little doorway, and you guys can kind of position yourselves how you are. So this is like the little opening to your shop.
Dominic's probably...
This is
Oh,
like
this
the
is the
walkway.
Okay. Well, Dominic's probably trying to, like, usher me in, I would think.
Yeah, I was
With
at
Mac
the
and I,
back.
like, behind someone.
Okay.
Okay. I want to cast Enhance Ability on myself.
Okay. What, which enhance?
For strength.
Ah, okay.
I'd like to pick Colcoat up and carry him through the doorway.
Alright. Colcoat, Mackinac forcibly grabs a hold of you. All these lies, and now this. He is rushing to grab onto you. What do you want to do?
Mackinac, what are you doing?
I believe the disease has compromised your mental faculty.
It's not a disease. Look at this nice rat I'm becoming.
Do you resist his attempts to grapple you?
Yeah, I'd probably resist if I'm wanting to be a rat.
Roll athletics or acrobatics. And Mackinac, you can do athletics with advantage since you have the thing.
Well, they're both the same, so let's just do athletics. Uh-oh.
Oh shit! The 20
The only
rolls.
time he decides to fucking roll well.
That's a 12.
So 23.
Okay. Mackinac, you're easily able to grapple Colcoat, and you can probably push him a reasonable distance with that much of a good check. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna try and get him inside here.
You managed to do so, and get him past the door.
Okay. Dominic, please lock the door.
Hey, whoa, what
course.
are you guys doing? Locking me in here? Not giving me cheese? What's going on?
The cheese will come later if you just cooperate.
The last bit of what he says comes out with a somewhat different squeaky tenor to it. Mackinac, Dominic, what are you guys going to do? You're in the room now, and the door's closed behind you.
I'm locking.
Okay.
Where's the safe room?
That's back here.
Should we go do this in the safe?
You
We don't
see
have
what
any-
looks like the very last little patches of Colcoat's fur starting to disappear.
No, we'll do it live. Freldas!
Fuck it.
Fuck it, we're doing it live!
Fraildas is in here, and he is... Let's see. I'm gonna draw on a thing or two. There's like a little couch that you guys often use. And on it is some of your crew. Got a couple of tokens hanging around here. Nope, not the fog creature. Got Fraildas there. He's like at the back here, and on the couch is Erlebald, who is quite ill.
Henry.
I think, did we not play Lenry out last time?
No.
Okay. Lenry is also here and ill as well, so you guys have a couple of sick people here. And Fraildas
Now we have another
is...
sick person.
It looks like he was sleeping in like a little chair at the back of the room here and has since woken up and is looking at you guys in a bit of a start, like what's going on.
Help us with this. Grab your sword and shield. We're going to be...
He kind of
Feeling
like
a little
looks
bit-
around the room and then reaches over to one side of his chair there. His shield isn't around, but he does grab his sword. He's not even wearing any armor, he's just in his clothes. And he looks over and says, "Guys, what's happening?
We're doing an exorcism of sorts.
Who's
I
that?"
became a rat. It's me.
Colcoat is in need. Help
It's
him.
rat coat.
When the moment that you speak to him, Fraildas just goes, "Oh my god."
I'm just gonna grab for the potion and try to shove it down Colcoat's.
Okay. I'd like you to make an athletics check against Colcoat's athletics or acrobatics.
Fuck. That's not good.
Assisted by the purple die.
Oh,
That's not an
good.
assist.
That's a 9.
Okay, that's actually doable now.
Oh!
Okay, that's a 17.
Hey!
Oh, that 5 would have lost.
Yeah, I have a -1.
If there's one thing, though, about your new form that's troubling, it's that you're not really used to it, Colcoat. And as Mackinac is, like, forcing you through the door and you're trying to fight him, you find that, you know, you're still fast, but you're not quite as strong. And when Dominic starts to, like, shove this potion down your gullet, you try to fight him as well, but, again, find that it's tough to coordinate with your limbs being, like, a little bit smaller than they were before. Before long, you've coughed up some of the thing and drank some of the rest. And you guys see that when that happens, there's like a little shimmer of light that starts to appear on Colcoat here. And Colcoat, you feel very strange. You feel like a great sort of indigestion or something, like rushing through you, or like a buildup of gas, or a strangeness of like your muscles tensing. And then a moment later, there's a rush where it all leaves, and you feel perfectly fine, and you go blind for a second. Mackinac, Colcoat goes completely limp in your arms. There's like a little bit of the potion kind of trailing out of the side of his mouth, and then out of his back, you see what looks like a sort of spectral figure that sort of hovers out and like melds through his clothes. It looks like a ghost, and Fraildas actually takes like a step back away from it. And you can see he's got his sword in hand and watches as this thing kind of moves back and starts to coalesce. At first it looks like a mist kind of moving together, and then the mist starts to take form. And just as Colcoat seems to be waking up in your arms there, Mackinac, his body now reverting, going in the opposite direction, where he looks a lot more cat-like even just after a second of ingesting the potion. You guys see what looks like some sort of strange rat demon creature that appears in the middle of the room. And I need everybody to roll initiative.
Woo!
Woohoo! Got a solid 5.
Ooh, I also got a solid 5.
Yeah, 13.
Okay. Let's see what our rat demon gets.
Oh, Mackinac, I had this horrible dream that I was turning into a rat. And you were there, Dominic.
Look at your arm, you're still turning back from being a rat.
Oh no, that's a dream?
You hear like a noise behind you, like some sort of rat-like shrill screech, and turn around to see a rat spirit there, like a specter of death in the form of some sort of large hunched rat with a vague humanoid characteristic. It's your turn, Dominic. What do you want to do? Oh, I should get Fraildas on the board here too, actually. Let's see what he gets. Oh, did he
Yep,
beat everybody?
did.
Oh my god, he did. So Fraildas is first. How brave is he feeling? I'm gonna roll intimidation for the creature here and see if it causes Fraildas to back up.
20.
That's a yes.
Yeah, Fraildos holds his turn. It's your turn, Dominic. What do you want to do?
Longbow summoned. I'm gonna move behind the counter, slightly
Okay.
off to the center, and fire. Actually, bonus action because I didn't use this last time. We got Hexblade's curse this thing,
Sure.
and now I'm gonna fire 2 arrows at him. Yep,
Oh,
that's a 15 to hit.
that hits.
Okay. Where? Oh. That's 10 damage?
+8.
Yes. Yeah, because I add my proficiency bonus to damage when they're Hexblade cursed.
Okay.
Lucky.
You fire from your summoned longbow there and hit the thing, and the arrow sticks in it for a moment before disappearing, as they often do, and the rat demon thrashes around. You've clearly injured it.
One more arrow.
Okay.
If I. That's a lot. I think it's 27.
Oh yeah, that hits. Well, you hit on a 15, so.
Yeah. 19 and 20 I crit. Why am I doing 2?
Oh, because of the curse?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That is 15 damage.
Okay.
And that will be my...
Alright. After that, it's the rat demon's turn. And let's see. It runs towards you, leaps over the counter, and then with both arms outstretched with these terrible claws at the end, it lunges towards you, Dominic.
Yay.
It makes 2 attacks. Let's see. We'll do both.
Oh,
first.
God.
Oh, you're getting hit. Okay. Does a 19 hit?
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. We need smaller dice. There we go. The non-crit hits you for 9. And the crit hits you for 16.
Okay, so 20, 25.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
After that, let's see. Fraildos will go, and he runs over and slashes at the thing here, kind of leaning over the counter. And he actually manages to hit the thing, and does a little bit of damage. Okay. It is your turn, Mackinac.
Okay. Am I still holding Colcoat?
Yes.
Okay.
You can let go of him for free if you wish. It's up to you.
Does he look conscious now? Like he just had like a weird demon thing spawn out of him.
Yeah, he opened his eyes again and then spoke to you like he was kind of coming out of a daze.
Okay. I will put him down.
Okay.
Take a step. Bonus action, activate my Titan Furnace.
Okay.
And full action cast Toll the Dead.
Alright. Wisdom save?
Wisdom save.
He
Pass at
fails.
13. Hey, and he is damaged?
He is.
It's 2d12. Ooh. Ooh, 19 damage.
Jeez.
19 necrotic damage.
It's that classic Wizards of the Coast power creep. Is that your turn?
That is my turn.
Okay. After that, it's your turn, Colcoat. As you come out of this haze, you can feel like you're almost back in control, like something in your mind has switched. A flip has gone by, and you feel much more like yourself. The bits of you that are still rat-like, you're once again kind of disgusted at, and despite being mentally yourself again, your body is still weird, strange, and kind of foreign to you. You currently have disadvantage on whatever actions you want to take.
Okay. First, I will caress my lovely, beautiful furry tail.
Yeah, half of it is back to normal. You're like, yes.
I'm gonna shove my shield into Fraildus's hands and just say, don't get yourself killed, Fraildus. Protect yourself.
Okay. Yeah, when you throw it to him, he catches it fairly well there. It looks like, or rather, you remember back to that time where you guys were assaulting the little bandit hideout and how well he performed, and it seems to, like land in his hand with ease. He nods to you.
I will take out my pistol.
Okay.
And, alright, let's go, rat bitch. And I'll fire 2 shots.
Okay.
First one is gonna be 17.
Okay. That'll hit. I do have to ask, though, are these the silver bullets or the normal bullets?
I'm still using the silver.
Okay. Let's roll damage.
Oh. This thing. Oh well. This one's just regular piercing. Oh,
Is it a
1. Oh no, that's 4 damage.
Okay.
And now I'll remember that I have my bonus action and do it for the force damage.
Okay.
And that will be a
14?
Yes.
14 hits.
I didn't waste it. Oh fuck, I rolled the wrong dice too. I'm so used to that same gun. Okay. These...
That's
so
better.
it's much better. It's gonna be 17 force damage.
Okay. The shot rings out, and the rat recoils simultaneously as a little piece of the wall behind him chips as the bullet goes straight through his sort of shadowy form. But he looks injured after you've done this, and is still standing.
I got nothing left, so that will be my turn.
Roll initiative. Oh, fuck. Well, Rat Demon didn't do very well. Fraildos gets... also not very good. It is your turn first, Mackinac.
What?
I don't know. What?
You got a problem?
No, it just doesn't happen.
I rolled a nat 20 in initiative. What do you want from me?
Dang, dude.
Let's see. Cast Toll the Dead.
Okay.
Roll that saving throw.
Well, he passes this time.
Alright. Alright.
Dominic, it's your turn.
Alright, oh boy. He's real close. I don't like that. I'm gonna do 2 disadvantaged shots.
Okay.
Very, very close. Alright, first shot. 8 plus 9, so 17.
Plus
Yeah.
9? Yeah, that hits.
Alright, and then second shot.
Yep.
Yep. Oh god, 19 would have been a crit. No.
Life is tough.
Uh, 12 plus 16 damage, so that's 28 magical piercing damage.
In total?
Yep, 28.
Your second shot is enough to send the thing staggering backwards. Even though it looks like it's completely spectral, it stumbles against this back counter here, and a couple of items on top of it are pushed backwards as it sort of phases through them and falls to the area behind it in like a sort of dramatic pirouette motion. When it finally lands on the ground, it sort of holds out a clawed hand like it's grasping for life or something, or maybe cursing you, pointing in your group's direction, and then with a sort of squeal, disappears from existence and fades away, and you guys are no longer in combat.
Hey, I get life back. Yay.
I spit on the space that it disappeared from.
Okay.
You stupid rat.
I'm gonna look over Dominic for scratches and cuts.
I'll just...
He has scratches and cuts all over him.
I'm gonna start casting some healing word on him.
Okay.
5 plus 8, 13, 22. Yeah, I have 22 HP. Cool.
Now you've got 9 more.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, 10 more? Okay.
Fraildos looks over and goes, God, what was that? And Colcoat, after you've spit on that bit of ground there, you take in a breath, and when you do, it feels like a healing breath almost, like a blessed wind, and it rushes through and fills your lungs and forces out all of that contamination, and a moment later, your body looks completely normal.
Oh, it feels good to be myself again.
Sure does.
Still kind of want some cheese, though.
Fraildos looks
Alright,
at you,
well-
sword still in hand.
We'll get you some cheese if you promise not to eat it like below noise. As long as you
No,
don't
no.
do that, that's fine.
No, a Tabaxi would not eat food like that. Does not dig that.
Now, let's see your teeth. Are they sharp and pointy or flattened? Still pointy.
I'll flash the nice sharp teeth and give a bit of a growl. Back to normal.
Here. Well, still technically have a job to do. But we wait and sleep at night. Been a long day.
I believe we should take additional preparations to ensure that both of you do not contract the same disease again. when we
Did you
next
guys
go into
tell
the sewer.
Fraildos about what you guys were doing in the sewers?
No.
Okay.
No.
He looks pretty confused here and looks at, you guys back and forth, and he says, Preparations? What's going on? Are you guys okay?
Yeah, we just had a little adventure. Little soiree that thought that wouldn't be as difficult as it's turning out to be.
There's were-rats in the sewer and they robbed us, but you can't tell anyone.
Yeah. Remember,
He
you know how
nods.
Kip was, Kip may have told you that he got knocked out? Those were a couple of, flaggy boys.
In the sewers, huh? Well, that's not good.
We had a sort of a beat on them, but didn't turn out exactly how we were hoping.
Well, you guys are in for a lot of trouble then, I guess.
So is Catman Robotics, concerns all of us. Point.
When I was working with those thieves, most of the boys said that the sewers went all the way down, like really far.
So it's been sort of a personal goal. See how far down we can get. At a certain point, we should hit something fun.
How far down, Freldis? You're not talking like Underdark down, are you?
His lips go tight for a second there as he looks at you, and that says it all. And he just kind of says, well, I never went. But we always avoided the sewers.
It's not a nice place, I can see why.
He kind of nods and then says, what was that thing? So, that's like a that was like a were-rat stuck inside you or something?
Yes, apparently all were creatures can turn you into them when they bite you. Not just werewolves. I got bit and, well, apparently part of being healed is killing that weird, creepy rat thing.
Well, at least it's dead now.
Yeah, you can say that again.
He looks over at the rest of you guys, and he looks kind of worried, but he's growing calmer now that, the adrenaline of combat is fading away. He sheathes his sword.
You
Well-
wield a sword very well. Who taught you?
You guys did.
Just gotta turn around and look. They did?
Yeah, it was a little bit before you came by, but there was this really cool thing with a bandit hideout nearby, and we went in and charged and took them all out.
Oh, you'll have to tell me more about it.
Yeah. But he kind of in a humph looks over at Mackinac and Colcoat and says, "But they don't really let me fight anymore, so I'm not sure what's up with that."
Sure, it must be something fact that they just spent to revive you.
Yeah. He kind of turns and walks back to his chair.
Patience is all you need. Sure, you can come fight with us sometime soon. I'm slowly dripping into a puddle of it.
Yes, as much as I would like to go kill all those rats, I think we might need a bit of rest here.
I certainly would enjoy a nap. Really just got back.
Okay. Are you guys going to go for a long rest?
Unfortunately, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
You guys turn in for the evening. Laying down, you find your usual spots and begin to rest. When the next day eventually comes, a few things have changed. You guys can reset your health and your spells and all that. The couch over there still has Erlebald laying on it, and sure enough, he looks rather ill, still in the throes of whatever strange ailment has gotten a hold of him. But Lenry is not there, and in place of where she was, you simply see what looks like a small piece of her clothing, like a little kerchief or something like that, and a note that's been left.
Go over and read it. No. We only just got back one of our companions. We don't need to lose another. See what it says.
In the note, Lenry details in her own little way how she's enjoyed her time with you guys, but feels like she needs to return back to the woods. And she tells you not to worry about her, that she's doing fine, and hopes to see you guys again sometime, but for the time being, needs to return back to the sort of life-giving passion and the sort of call of the nature, which is so integral to her being. So she has head off and left you guys a little memento, and must have left at some point, perhaps in the night, or perhaps during the time skip, as you guys look out and see on the little calendar nearby that quite a few days have gone by, and Fraildas is, over by the counter and has clearly dotted every day that's passed.
What day is it?
You guys know that it is the 24th of autumn.
Oh, that's not bad.
That could have been worse. I'll take it.
Of which year?
1257.
Can't remember what year it was to begin with, so.
It's 1202 right now.
Oh. Okay, that would have been bad.
Fraildas is
no,
just
man.
an old man.
I mean, he's a half elf, so you know.
Or just looks like Fraildus, but it's like the son of Fraildus.
This guy.
My name's Ted. Fraildass died 10 years ago.
Ted. My life is owed to Catman Robotics.
Okay, well, upon seeing the note, I'm just gonna. Oh no. I'm going to miss Lenry. She never
Wasn't
took
she-
me to Valoo.
Isn't she here originally? That you all once had?
She was my last tie to Gaius.
Sorry.
It's alright, she'll be okay. We'll visit her in Valoo one day.
Isn't that why one of the rooms is covered in dirt?
What do you mean?
I remember there being a bedroom covered in dirt. It's seldom open.
We have a bedroom in here? I thought we only had 2 rooms.
It's only
Oh,
2
yeah.
rooms.
Oh, I thought we had bedrooms. Huh.
No, sir.
Well, we do.
Retcon.
Just multi-purpose room that's also used as every other room.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Well, I hope our paths will cross with her one day.
Dirt well.
Cross with her one day.
I do hope she stays safe while traveling alone.
Well, I guess if the time is gone ahead like this, we might want to check what's going on in the city. Who knows what could have happened with the where at?
First some food. Go find a meal for ourselves?
Yes, let's get some cheese.
Should I be worried?
Not at all, and I'll walk out the door. To the cheese!
When you step out the door, you find a little rolled piece of parchment in front of it. It looks like a little city newspaper, or perhaps just a simple notice. When you grab a hold of it, are you opening it up?
Yes, I will open it up.
It is
Hey,
a-
Mackinac, they didn't throw it through the window, for one.
That
it
is good.
It is a single-page story, and on that single-page story, you see it says, "Where rats in the sewers? Are we safe?" with a question mark and an exclamation point behind it.
Oh no, they found out. This is trouble. Is this like, would I know if this is like an established thing that's putting this out, or if it's like tabloids?
Make a... Well, you guys have lived here. I would say that you would know. This comes from one of the less reputable sources in the city. This is kind of like a rumor mill sort of thing.
Okay.
Like the TMZ of Vosnux.
Gotcha.
Is it postmarked with the date or anything?
It is, and it seems to be from like 2 days ago. So you guys have been gone since what, like the 18th or something? Let's see. The 16th, somewhere around there, was your last. So yeah, it looks like over the course of almost 10 days, somebody spilled the beans. Maybe a guard told, or maybe there was an attack that wasn't quite as stealthy. Who knows? But there's talk of it in the town now.
Well, I know a lot of people may not buy into this paper, but the fact that they'll be talking about it means I'm sure the truth will come out sooner or later. And probably best we check in with the guards, no?
I believe that. That'll be a good idea. Like I said, food, and then go check in.
Okay.
And maybe a little bit.
So you guys go into like a local tavern?
Yeah.
Alright. there is a tavern nearby that you guys sometimes frequent. It's middle of the road. Not overly pricey, not a place that nobles would congregate, but it's not exactly, dirt floor, bottom of the barrel either. When you guys get there, you settle in at a table, and you can see that there's a reasonable atmosphere in here, which is interesting. Taverns in the morning are usually not super busy. There'll be people grabbing some breakfast, but it's really the evenings when things pick up. But the tavern is almost full. As you guys make your way in and sit down at a table, a barmaid comes over and gives you the menu, and you find out it's a silver piece for more or less anything, so you guys can subtract that if you want to eat, or maybe grab a morning beer. But you notice that a good number of tables here are filled, not with the locals of different factory workers and things like that, but with what looks to be battle-hardened mercenaries.
To pull one aside. Like anyone that's kind of like wandering around, like looking like they're going to the bar or something.
Oh, sure. Yeah, you catch one while he's like headed over there. It's a guy with a set of leather armor on and like a big two-handed sword on his back.
Excuse me, I've been away for a little bit. I was wondering. There seems to be a lot of mercenaries like yourself in town. What are you all here for?
Yeah, he gives you a nod and he says, "Guard's paying for every were-rat head you can bring in. Me and the boys figure it's easy money. You guys want to join up?"
Potentially. Let me go
Have
talk to my...
Have you ever fought a were-rat before?
Are you like calling from the table?
Yes.
He looks
Seems like
over
you were
at
talking
you.
about like easy money.
He looks over and he goes, "No, but I've fought orcs before. They can't be worse than that." Kind of shrugs, and then you see he like grabs his cup from the counter.
Hey Mackinac, perhaps we can use these stupid mercenaries as meat shields.
While looking over in your direction, Coldcoat, he doesn't seem to hear what you're saying as he's over by the bar, and you're whispering. But he does kind of, narrow his eyes. And then he looks over at you, Dominic, since you're next to him, and just kind of like gives you a weird look, and then turns and walks back to his table.
What was that about? Gotta look over at Coldcoat. What did you say?
I just suggested to Mackinac here that these not-so-smart mercenaries might be good for distractions in the sewer. They
Well,
do not seem to know
potentially.
what they're getting into.
Doesn't hurt having numbers on our side.
Oh wait, I
Especially
just
given-
thought about something. If all of these idiots are going into the sewers and turning into were-rats, assuming because they do not look that capable, is that not just going to make the army of were-rats stronger and stronger?
Likely. That's why we're going to go as well. Mackinac doesn't
Make them
seem
even
affected.
stronger.
Mackinac doesn't seem to be affected, and you and I can stay far away and not directly shoot point blank at their head 5 feet away from them.
We'll see about. I think we might want to talk to the guards and try to keep some of these fools out of there.
Potentially. But there are going to be a few who go regardless, so.
Are you guys gonna have breakfast and then find some guards?
Yep. Quick meal. Go.
Sure. You guys sit down and eat, spending half an hour chit-chatting about this and that as you get a bit of food in. The different mercenary groups are doing the same. You get to hear from the different tables a little bit of their conquests. As you would imagine, Coldcoat, some of them boast and embellish tales, and you can't always tell if they're lying or not, but there are some here that you do think are certainly over their head. There is the odd time, though, where you kind of glance towards another table, which you think has some more experienced ones who might actually be, possibly help. But it's definitely a mixed bag as far as who's in the inn today. When you guys step out of the inn, you eventually flag down one of the guards who's just kind of wandering the city. He's having like a pleasant chat with one of the citizens here, and they wrap up as you guys approach. And he steps over and gives you guys a curt nod. Citizens?
Hello,
God.
Oh, God.
Yep.
Sorry, I didn't hear anything that you guys said.
Just a greeting.
Okay. He gives you a nod. What can I do for you? Crime to report?
Well, we were hoping of... Either one of two men were around. Regriff or Joffrey?
He pauses for a second, and he says, you know the
Joffrey?
captain?
No, both.
Ragruff's been in the capital for a while. Don't know when he's coming back. Joffrey's back at the guardhouse, though, if you need to talk to him. What's going on? Is this serious? You see that his demeanor changes from that of somebody going for a morning stroll to somebody who might have to leap to action.
Thing serious as... Yeah. We just need to find him.
Well, if you guys know him, you probably know the guardhouse is down that road and to your left, so good luck.
Thank you. Just get turned around. It looks good that he seems calm himself, so...
We've got the best guards in the world here in Vosenux. The best. Give a bit of salute to the guard there.
Make a persuasion roll, please.
15.
He gives you a genuine smile, and you guys eventually head off on your way, potentially having made an easy friend. Going over towards the guardhouse, are you guys summoning Joffrey?
Yeah.
Okay. The stand-in guard captain is a little bit busy, but after maybe about 5-10 minutes of waiting outside and shooting the shit, he eventually comes out to chat with you guys, with the backdrop being a bunch of different soldiers who are chopping away at training dummies, and the opposite end being people walking up and down the streets. It's a nice and busy day in the city, and Joffrey walks up, a couple of bodyguards nearby, and gives you guys a sort of salute, and says, "Right, you're Ragraff's friends. We spoke a few days back, right?"
We did indeed. We pop in and out every...
Well, I'm sorry, but Ragraff is still gone. I don't know when he's returning.
Well, it seems that you're still around and still in charge. We actually had a couple of queries and questions for you, if you didn't mind.
More than used to keeping up appearances when stepping into somebody else's shoes. Ask away.
Well, pertains to a delicate subject, as it were, prior. It seems it's not necessarily so delicate anymore.
I will slowly unroll that little scroll.
He already knows what it is, it seems. You don't even have to finish unrolling it or show him the title. He just kind of sighs, like, yep.
Would you prefer discussing this privately, or...?
No, it's fine. It's out in the open now.
How bad have things gotten for it to be this common of knowledge now?
Well, a few days back, there were a couple of high-profile attacks, resulted in a couple of deaths, and some people asking questions, a disappearance here and there. We tried to keep the lid on things, but we weren't able to in the end.
High-profile deaths. Who would?
A merchant family lost one of their youngers in the attack. Wrong place at the wrong time.
Family.
It's unfortunate, but these things happen. The good news is that we've put out a small bounty on the heads of any were-rats, and that seems to have attracted quite a crowd. We're thinning out their numbers.
Now, Joffrey, this may come of a shock to you as it did to myself, but did you know that a were-rat, when it bites you, turns you into another were-rat.
Yes.
How did he know this? Thought it was just the wolves.
Th-
Anyways.
No. Why would you assume?
We saw some of these men that they may be sending down into the sewers. Some of them are not so capable. If they just go down there, are you not making the were-rats stronger?
Oh, yes. We've considered that. So far, it seems like more heads come in than people go missing into the sewers. So, we're calling that a victory for now.
Huh?
Now, you're right. If we just sent any peasant down there, then things wouldn't be great. We're actively discouraging any of the less capable from taking up the job. Anybody can, but we think our efforts are working. Like we said, more heads coming back than people going missing.
Maybe worthwhile that we look into some of these more capable ones. We had the run-in in the sewers a few days back. Took out quite a few, but things happened. People turned into rats, you know, usual.
He nods. Well, I can tell you we've taken an advanced position in the sewers, and most of the upper levels are safe now. We haven't actually had an attack in the last couple days, so it seems to be getting something done. But their numbers are surprisingly higher than we had anticipated.
Well, we may have heard some rumors that the sewers connect all the way down to even the Underdark, so we're not quite sure what might be coming up.
Well, I don't know anything about that, but if that's the case,
It must be sealed off.
perhaps.
I have a way of accurately tracking one of them if we can get close by. We tried it last time, but unfortunately, it's in a moment of battle realization. I think, given the chance, we might be able to do it again to figure out where they all hide.
Well, you folks do what you have to do. We're gonna throw as many mercs at this problem as we have to. And, we'll cut them down eventually. Seems there's a lot of work going around for, cell swords and the like.
Well, we'll see if we can do the most.
The bounty's 5 silver ahead, by the way, if you can get a hold of him. The cash-in's, perfectly acceptable for you guys, too.
Oh, that's quite alright. This is our home. We don't protect it for money. We protect it because we love the place we...
Make a persuasion roll, please.
14.
He nods, and he says, well, if that's the case, I commend you. I don't know when this problem will be over, but with help from folks like yourselves, hopefully soon.
Yes, perhaps we can end it. And I'll try to twirl my pistol. Bolster it.
Make a
Performance.
dexterity roll, or performance, your choice.
I don't think I have any performance. Let's see here. No, I'll do dexterity. Let's see if I've been getting good at this.
Oh.
16.
Okay. It's not as flashy and showy, but you do successfully pull off the trick, and you see what looks like a sort of a gaze of understanding that comes from Joffrey here as he looks over, like, okay, I see you.
I'll just give him a nod. Until next time, Joffrey.
Till next time. He turns around and walks back, his bodyguards following in tow.
Well, down to the sewers. McNamara, what preparation did you have in plan for safety? mentioned earlier, but the fact that the healers said that their magics wouldn't work on saving Kolko the other night has me slightly perplexed.
I was considering having both of you wear extensive leather armor to ensure that you cannot be scratched on your skin.
I have a funny feeling that some of those claws and teeth pierce through.
Then perhaps additional layers of metal would be appropriate.
For today's episode, everyone wears heavy armor.
I barely struggle to barely hold what armor I can on my back. I don't think I can carry any more. Nonetheless, I don't view myself getting...
Oh, I forgot to ask, are any of you guys injured?
Yeah.
You should roll one for last night. I saw the 20. It's too bad. Okay.
Back still aches. It's unpleasant to say the least, but I don't believe I could carry anything else on my back. Or body. Or body, for that matter.
Perhaps a change in tactics would that be appropriate?
It was very dark down there. I didn't like it. Perhaps there's a way we can gain some kind of better sight.
Attention.
Mhm.
What I mentioned before and what I mentioned after combat when I was slightly hot-headed was, well, if we feigned failure, I was able to get that spell off again. We might be able to figure out where they all hide. Potentially. I don't know if they all stay together, but something that I knew of rats is that they like to be together. You always find rats.
Now, if my memory serves me correct, when I was in my wanting to be a rat phase, I had this urge to run away and just climb into a giant ball of other rats and cuddle up for warmth. So I think you're onto something, Tom.
So if we manage to kill a few and then as they're running away, maybe one of them that looks particularly healthy, if I can get that spell off, there's a chance that we might be able to find a location.
I still would like other ways to see down there. It's going to be pitch black.
We still have mechanized chess piece. So as best as we can hope for. Unless you'd like to carry a torch.
I would not like to carry it.
If only I had light cantrip.
Doo-doo-doo.
Maybe I should get a bit more silver bullets.
I do believe we should take some time to reconsider our equipment choices.
Well, we could always just go to the blacksmith and see if he's got anything.
You could get frail dust.
This is true.
Mm-hmm.
Another body. Well, I'm more than happy to revisit blacksmith, but I don't believe I can. There's any improvements I can gear that I currently possess.
You cut out so many times during that.
Did I?
Did anybody else hear that?
I heard the parts that didn't cut out.
Yeah. I'm not opposed to, but we could, so that would, yeah.
I'm not opposed. I'm not opposed to going to see the blacksmith, but I don't believe that there's anything else I could prove in my own gear. Is it still fucking cutting out?
It did once. You're like, I don't believe there's anything that I could, and then just like cut out.
Fuck.
It must be Discord. They must have changed like either the sensitivity or it's like a latency thing or something.
Right, well, I'm good with going to the blacksmith. There's like literally nothing I can change without like spending way more money than we have. Because I'm currently wearing breastplate.
Okay.
Should cover me fully, but if something hits me, it hits me.
Well, I think given that we're doing a slightly shorter session tonight, we'll do a 5-10 minute break here, and that'll give you guys some time to think about what kind of prep you want to do. Think about what money you got, what supplies you should get, if you want to change your tactics or whatever, and we'll start back up in 10 here.
Okay.
Alright.
Well, what are you guys thinking?
I need bullets.
You need bullets. Okay.
Thinking bullets, maybe some weapons. Probably buy like 20 pounds of leather and just like suit you guys up.
Like I said, can't wear anything else, like, at all. My plan
Alright,
is
so we
not to
strap
wear-
Dominic to Macinar's back.
I would like to discuss with Illusion, like, what kind of hits to AC you could take in order to cover yourself up.
What do you mean?
like lose
Wow.
dexterity, AC.
Rather than doing like my 16 AC with the breastplate on, if I could be wrapped in something and just say AC.
Yeah, that's kind of.
Yeah. I'll be right back.
Like, I don't think I'll be able to do that purely for the fact that I'll just slow right the fuck down. So, my thing is literally just going to be like, if something comes up in my face, I'm unfortunately gonna have to disengage. Or that, or I'll have to blink. And then you guys will just be on your own. Unless it's my turn. So.
Make it.
I don't know. All I know is that I'm just gonna be a arrowy boy. Shoot from far away, so that's my plan. Okay, I need to apparently call my assistant manager, so I'll be back. But I don't know how long it'll take. Yo.
Is that a Jackson rail?
Yeah. Sorry. I was being called apparently during that, and I hadn't noticed.
I see.
Do you want to like bring Fraildas down here?
I think so. I think we just have to play a bit smarter.
Mm-hmm. Do we need to buy anything?
I would
Oh,
imagine
shit.
probably. Question is, what do we buy?
Fire. Oil flasks. Seems to be a good solution for everything. Is burn.
Burn it all to the ground.
Oh, should we get like some explosives in case we find a place where it's the sewers?
The first thing I hear is, burn it all to the ground. Oh, should we get, some explosives? Oh, fuck.
Fire solves most problems, doesn't it?
City infrastructure irreparably damaged. Stand-in guard chief says, I had no idea. They said they loved this city. 3 arrested. Charges pending.
I guess, yeah. Quote would not have considered structural integrity of the rest of the city.
Well, I'm just fucking around. I mean, who knows?
No, I'm sure Mac and I probably talk me out of that. If you're gonna blow stuff up down there, you gotta like be pretty damn sure.
I mean, not
about
even the
where.
city, but like if we're anywhere close, right? Like puddles just start collapsing left and right. We're just like, oh, we're now stuck in a tunnel system connected to the Underdark with no way back to Boston. Shit.
You would
Yeah,
not be
that'd
the
be
first
worse than
group of
being
mine to have that happen to them. Those guys survived, though.
Did they though? Did they?
Yeah, Wednesday group from Skyfall Episode 1. They lived. They got out of the Underdark. It took them like 12 years.
And we'll really have no one to run our city.
Avoid the
You come back and Fraildas is like just jacked.
No, am I ready now? No, you're not.
He's like captain of the guard.
Am I ready now? Nope.
Much of a pussy. Sorry, Twitch.
He's like a blood fighter in like a gladiator den or something.
How about now? Okay, now you're just too jacked. You can't join it. Ah, fuck.
Yeah, crazy person.
Yeah, because look bad. Can't have that.
Are you guys good to go?
Yeah, I
I'm
just need to
good.
reconnect because my Steam decided to do a thing.
Oh, sure, we can wait a second.
Da.
Oh, man. I just had corn on the cob. So good.
Oh yeah, fresh corn is back in season. It's like
It's
3 or 4
super
days.
expensive now, though. It's like
Oh, it's 'cause-
75 cents or 80 cents like a head. It used to be like 30.
That's because it's like super fresh and everything is like organic and shit.
I don't think
That's
that's
it.
it. I don't think that justifies a 2.5% increase. Or 2.5x. Not percent.
2.5 times increase.
Yeah. Something else has to be going on.
Capitalism.
I don't think so. Well, I'm sure there's some capitalism at work, but there's got to be something else. All right. Oh, you're in. Okay, we're good to go.
Wait.
Maybe there's tariffs on.
on corn. That was my initial thought, because there actually are tariffs on corn now.
Well, and all the tariffs that Canada just hit back to the States, like if what you want comes from a heavy Republican area, probably gonna have hard tariffs on it now.
Yeah, and the farming sectors got hit really tough, because the whole idea is just to hit the Republican base, right? So that Trump doesn't get another election, but who knows?
Very sneaky.
Kind of. I mean, it was sneaky at first when China did it, but then everyone started doing it, so I guess they caught on. Who knows if it'll pan out? Maybe Republicans like the pain. You always gotta wonder.
Listen,
We've all been
we
in that
haven't
seat
had a good
before.
trade war in a while. It's about time we had one.
Exactly. Anyway, you three here are in the heart of Ozanuts, talking politics as
Wait,
Joffrey
guys, here's
walks
how we
away.
deal with the were-rats.
Yeah.
Trade war.
Somebody holds up a finger. A wall. We'll build a wall.
No cheese to the
Around
goddamn were-rats. Coming in, stealing our people, literally, because they're biting them and turning them into were-rats.
Okay, we're not making any connections between were-rats and Mexicans, Twitch. Just want to put that out there. Please no sue. What are you guys gonna do? What are you guys buying? What are you getting? I'll tell you if you can get it.
Relic, lead us.
So, mechanics question before we roleplay.
Mm-hmm.
If I were to take, like, 10 pounds of leather, cut it
Yes.
into strips, and just, like, cover both of my allies in, like, leather,
Mm-hmm.
what would that do in terms of their stats and AC? Like, I'm talking just giving them, like, almost like a fireproof, like, jacket made of leather kind of thing.
I would say if you wanted, you could bolster their AC, but it will be at like the cost of movement, basically. Like you would turn light armor into medium armor, kind of thing. So dexterity will be less effective, but you'll get more AC from the armor. So for some of them that might work out, and for some maybe not.
Okay, so they might lose an AC or two, but, like, roleplay wise, they're, like, you know, more immune to cuts and scratches sort of thing.
Oh,
Or is that's what I'm going for.
yeah. If you want to make that trade, we could do that. We could make it so that the con check by the person gets like a slight bonus, but their AC goes slightly down. You could augment armor to make that, and
Something like that, yeah.
I would say you can make that trade after a couple hours of work if you wanted to, but that's up to you because you will get hit more often, so you'll be having to make the saves more often. So
What do
I
you
would
guys
say, depending on how well you roll, that'll change how much of a bonus you get. Like how well you roll on creating the armor. So if you do it really well, then you'll get maybe like a +3 or something like that. If you do it poorly, maybe like a +1.
And what would you take to the AC hit?
I'd probably take like a -1 off of it.
Unless I roll like a nat 20 on a crafting check, that's amazing.
I mean, you could. You never know.
It's true. I mean, I'll probably craft it regardless, and we'll just, you know, see how it goes.
You just have to go into the sewers with your hand on that amulet. So the moment you get bit.
I'm trying to think what else we can do as like preventative measures.
And I would say that that would be pretty cheap to institute. It's just like a risky change, right? So if you wanted to buy that leather, you'd probably be looking at like 10 gold or something. It's not expensive.
Yeah, okay.
Is there any
Oh, that's
potions
actually
that we could drink that would like make us more resistant?
You guys can look around town for that if you want.
Can we talk to the dude that hooked me up?
Sure.
See what he's got?
The elderly gentleman who runs that little alley-side herbalism shop does indeed have preventative measures for the serum. And when you guys show up to his little shop, before you even open the door, you can hear the sound of people in there talking. The store sounds pretty busy for some strange reason, and when you open the door, you see bands of mercenaries there looking at different wares and picking things up. And the antidote that you guys took the other day now costs 200 gold. He also has a preventative serum as well, which you can drink, and it'll give you a advantage on the Constitution saving throw against it that lasts for an hour, and he's selling those for 50 gold each. And this works for, according to the advertising, any like were animal to come after you. There are people who are buying those and others who are considering the others, but you get the sense that the people in here are probably not as wealthy as you guys are.
Has anyone suddenly grown suspicious that this is the guy who started the plague in the city?
Now that you
DM
mention
calls.
it. Now that you mention it.
Out of character.
Capitalism! Sorry, I had something there. I had a shekel stuck in my throat.
Fine gentlemen, could I see your wares in the back? Or your books, please?
Are you actually asking that of him?
Nah.
Okay.
Should I? Can I?
What are you asking Mackinac?
Should we check his wares in the back?
You're gonna have to speak bluntly, both for Mackinac and myself.
Should we check his books in the back, see if there was any plotting, any diaries?
Like a book that says, "Today I shall unleash the were-rat plague on the town
Today
of
I had a
Ossex."
thought. Start a plague and then profit from it. No one would ever suspect me. I'll write down my notes in this handy journal.
Dear diary, I have so much were antidote, but so few customers. But today I had a fantastic idea. What if? Well, 50 for an hour's worth of advantage, or you could pick up another saving potion there just in case it takes effect on somebody, and then use that to summon the rat demon and beat the shit out of it.
How much money do we have?
Are you guys rich?
Yeah, we're still kind of rich. I've got... Where's my money?
Here comes the money.
120 platinum and 70 gold.
Fuck.
I think
We
it
still
would
kinda
very
got the
much
money.
be a good idea to get preventative potions.
Get 3 of those, and let's see if we can get a deal. 3, yeah, just if we're going to be bringing Freldas.
Wait, how much are the preventative potions?
50.
Let's grab fucking 6 of them.
Okay.
Okay. See if we can get a group on.
Listen, if we only get 3, we're gonna regret it because we're gonna drink them and then be like, oh no, we've used them all up. Now what do we do?
The shopkeep seems to have about 10 of these on display. You don't know if he has more in the back or not, but there's a sort of like, oh shit moment that goes throughout the crowd. As you guys approach and buy the 6, taking more than 50% of the stock, different mercenary groups kind of look at each other. Somebody else goes, I'll take 2. And then another one kind of like, looks at each other and they start to scrabble over the remaining potions. So you can go ahead and subtract, 300? And grab those 6
300?
potions.
Alright.
You have 6 potions of wear resistance.
Well, other than some bullets, what else are we going to need?
Oh, by the way, the bullets cost double what they normally do. So instead of a gold, it's 2 gold each. So you can buy as many of those as you want. You do notice that the blacksmith here is a little bit short, like he's definitely been selling more, but there's enough that you can probably grab whatever you need.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt session for a moment, but just like something popped up on a feed that just said there was a woman that just did a 25-hour and 16-minute swim where she swam 79.6 kilometers in BC.
Oh, that's pretty
insane.
cool.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Gee.
Some of those long-range swimmer people are nuts.
Alright, so I'm picking up leather for 10 gold, you said?
Sure.
Like a big pile of leather.
Okay. Anything else? Anything else?
I'm trying to already establish silvered weapons are useful against what? Like were creatures, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get another 20 of those bullets. So 40 gold.
Okay.
Hmm.
How much gold do you guys have left?
92 platinum and some extra gold.
Oh my god. You almost have 1,000 gold.
We had 1,000 gold. We had 4,000 gold.
It's pretty boss.
We had money on top of money on top of money.
Here comes the money.
Knowing our roles will still do poorly.
Mm.
I can't really think of anything else.
No, I think we're good to go. Grab a little frail ass.
Do you guys want any climbing equipment?
Ooh,
Ooh, that's not a bad idea.
Bittens. A little bit of rope.
Hook?
Kittens and stuff.
Wait, isn't that all still on our cart that is just sitting on the surface?
I think it's sitting at our shop, actually.
Oh, never mind then. Do you remember seeing?
Cart inventory, here we go. So we can take
Yeah,
it
but if it was in the shop, then probably gone.
Oh yeah, we lost shit.
Well,
Go
shit.
buy some more pittons and stuff.
I don't need any, I got claws.
And I don't have much strength, but sure, pittons might be a good idea. Pittons, you have all the rope. Keep the rope and hooks, and I'll carry. I can't actually carry any pittons on me. Never mind. Did I have any pittons with me before? No, I did not. Yeah. Grab 10 pittons, because it's like every 10 feet you need a pitton. 10 pittons, we have rope, 1 hook. Sounds good.
Okay.
Be like, what, 10 gold? Not even. 5 gold?
What, to
Let's
buy
get-
pittons?
Get a vial of perfume.
They cost very little. It's like... I think off the top of my head, you could probably get 10 pittons for like 2 gold. Something like that.
Get some perfume. And if we don't tag a rat with the tracking spell, we can hit it with perfume and follow the smell.
Could do that. Do you want to buy perfume?
Yes.
Okay. You get...
Just 1 bottle.
Okay. You get a small bottle of ass body spray for 5 gold.
I have no money if Mackinac could pay.
Pay the man.
Naganar pays for this strange substance.
Okay. You have a small bottle of perfume. It's the size of a couple thimbles stacked on one another.
Cool. my bag.
Okay. Now, how you want to administer this is up to you. You could probably attach it to like a bow and arrow, to an arrow or a crossbow bolt, or throw it, or whatever. That's up to you guys.
We should check what kind of equipment Ferelda has.
Yeah, what is Ferelda sitting out with right now?
Right
He has
now,
armor, right? He wasn't wearing it before.
yeah, he has leather armor, a shield, and a short sword.
His own shield or my shield? If it's
He
mine,
has his
I'll
own
give it back.
back at the shop. So if you wanted, you could go like studded leather, or maybe you could put him in heavier armor, that kind of thing. He does seem like he's much more dexterous than strength-based, though. Like 90% of your party.
That's not much. We might as well get a studded leather here.
Yeah. How much would studded leather be for him?
Studded leather costs, what is it, 25? No, it's like 50 gold, isn't it?
40.
40
Yeah.
is the base?
That's
Okay.
fine.
So you could find that in town for probably 50.
Okay. Another 50 gold. He has studded leather armor.
Okay. So he now has an AC of 15. A +3 to hit and +1 to damage. You could also purchase him like a ranged weapon or something if you guys wanted.
I was just gonna say, we probably don't want him running up into shit, so get him a weapon.
You want to go short bow, long bow, crossbow? Your choice. You could get him a gun.
Nope.
True.
Can we get him a siege crossbow?
I don't think he'd be able to wield that.
Isn't there strength requirements on that?
It's like 15 strength.
If it's 15 strength, then Frailbass isn't using it. You'll have to have him hit the gym a couple times first.
Probably just like, is he able to wield a longbow?
Yes.
Just give him a longbow and some arrows.
Sure. So a longbow is 50 normally. I'll roll luck for you guys. These days, a longbow goes for 60 gold. So with that, the arrows come free, so you can drop 60 gold there. And he now has a longbow.
60 gold has been dropped.
Okay. I'll add him to your party here. Are you getting him anything else? Are you handing him any of the potions and stuff?
Yeah, we're probably going to hand him 2 of the primitive potions, and then 2 for Dominic, 2 for Coco.
Okay. All the flesh bags have 2.
Yep.
Now, Illusion, game mechanics wise, it sounded like less restoration is not going to be enough to cure this thing.
Let me look at it.
No, I cannot carry any.
That's what I was initially banking on when we finished last session.
That will not cure it.
Okay.
It does count as a disease, but this is a little bit stronger than that.
Okay.
By the way,
Anything
when you
else?
guys bring him with your group and hand him his stuff, Fraildas is like super pumped.
Hell yeah.
I'll just tell him, like, make sure they do not bite. Not want to become a rat.
He nods and looks off in the distance. You can picture him thinking back to that day where you were fighting a rat demon in the store.
Well, Mac, not any more preparations, or are we ready to head down?
Oh, and since I assume he'll be joining you guys next session, you might want to take sick Erlebald with you.
Fair enough. He
What if
gets
he
to
has
carry my
disease?
potions.
And your pittance.
He can come back already transforming as a rat. You remember being sick and going in the sewers and stuff, and then...
That's all I really had for preparation.
Well, unless anybody else wants something, you guys can head down. I don't know if you want to do it during the day or during the night. It's up to you.
Yeah, down during the day. Why not?
Okay. So, grabbing the day's supplies and a little bit of help from the shop, you five wander off. There is an interesting little setup down by the door that you guys had used before, where a little mercenary band seems to have set up camp. Like there's a group of 4 adventurers there looking over maps, and somebody who's like sharpening his blade with a whetstone, that kind of thing. You also see guards nearby, and you recognize the guards from days and days back. Well, days and days for them. For you guys, it was simply yesterday. And they kind of look at you and give you guys a nod, like, we see you, sort of thing. Are you guys sorry, are you guys headed in?
Yep.
Okay. Are you going down the same path as before?
I think so.
Okay. When you guys step into the sewers, you travel down a couple of hallways, and before long make it to that vertical column that you guys had descended down for a while. Going down it, you can hear people speaking in the sewers. Somebody else must be in here. In fact, as you get closer and closer, you think you can hear them actually on the ladder. When you get to one of the mezzanines, you notice a group of people that actually kind of look over at you guys and give you like a nod. One of them gives you a salute, and a different one from that same group calls out. It's a girl with like a short bow in hand, and she says, The time. What time is it?
Time is it?
What time is it?
Sometime in the morning.
It's the morning. I'm not sure of the hour.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Have you been here all night?
It's been a long one.
Any signs of the rats around here?
She kind of turns back towards her group, and they share a couple of hushed words, and then she calls back across the mezzanine and says, a couple of stragglers. Nothing like yesterday, though.
Well, if you see any rats that still have their heads attached, that means we're probably nearby. It's kind of motion to my group.
That still have their heads attached?
Yeah, we're not taking their heads.
Oh, I see. I see. She gives you a quizzical look there, and then kind of gives you a wave, like good luck, and turns back to chatting with her group. Are you guys going further down?
Don't get bit. And then I'll...
Keep climbing.
You guys go down, and then eventually get towards that lower mezzanine where there was a little set of handholds to get over towards a spewing sewer vent, the one that you guys had climbed through previously, getting to the next venue. You guys climb along and squeeze back into that gross tunnel, and then emerge into that sort of like resting pool with the grates over top. Here, you don't hear the skittering off in the distance. It's like the area has been cleared or something. And another thing that you guys notice is that the area here is messy. And you'd seen this a little bit on the way down into the sewers. Areas where there's like blood spatterings on the walls and on the floors. You find that here again. There's definitely been another fight since your time down here. Now,
is the water in that big cylinder any higher or lower, or is it the same level?
the water is the same, but you see what looks like corpses floating in there, like headless were-rat corpses.
This can't be good for the city's water supply.
No.
I guess we keep going. Looks like they've been pushed back from here.
Now to draw the scene, there's like a tiny little thing here. This is the main vertical shaft. It's this guy right here, okay?
Yep.
So I'll do a arrow set. You guys took a little side passage here and got to this thing, which continues off. There's one here. Then you got to that. There's also a little sort of crawly passageway here, which was where the one rat escaped. So you guys are like around this intersection. Where do you want to go? You can go left, right, or maybe into the wall.
Well, before we couldn't get into the wall, so...
Ah, true. It is very small. Also, who has light out?
I've got just piece going.
Okay.
Just be really close to Mackinac.
Yeah, assuming that one there was trying to run away from us, like, I guess we'd probably try to look in this area where these pathways went.
Sure.
Try to see if we had found any sign of these rat people or anyone chasing the rat people.
Golly, it would have been really useful to take the dark vision invocation.
This thing over here ends in a small turn like this. And I will draw it in for you. There is a little grate here in the wall, which pours out water into a little pool. And next to the pool right here is a small chest.
If only we had a rogue.
You've got the best rogue in the business. Carries his thieves' tools with him everywhere.
Okay. Whom?
The guy who dismantles the safe from the back.
Right. Yeah, go for it.
Check it out.
So it's just like sitting like the middle of like the hallway?
Yeah, there's just like a little chest next to a little pool of water. It looks like a sort of old and rotted thing.
Alright. My Dark Souls instincts tells me that there's a rat inside. I will slowly approach, indicating the rest of the party should hang back.
Okay.
I wanna, like, can I be over here?
Sure.
Just, like,
Yeah, move
look
yourselves where you want.
down. This fun enough for you?
A bit further back, just to be safe.
Fair enough.
A little bit further back, just to be safe.
We can't see further back, dude.
Oh, you don't have any light?
A little bit further
You-
back.
You're the light. That's why I'm
Oh,
staying
shit.
close.
All right, yeah, fine. Get closer then. I thought you guys had a little torch. So I'll reach down, looking at this chest.
Yes.
Just like a rotted wooden chest.
It has a rotted wooden chest that has a clear metallic latch at the front. It looks like a sort of bronze-ish colored metal with a green sort of patina on it. Like years and years of erosion have been working away at it.
Huh. Well, I'll reach down and try and open it.
Okay. Do you have thieves' tools?
No, I'm just gonna open it.
Okay. You grab a hold of the thing and attempt to open it, and perhaps to no surprise, find that it is closed and does not want to open. You're gonna need a key for that keyhole, or something.
I'm shocked. Well, it's made out of wood, yes?
Yes.
I believe Mackinac is proficient against wood.
This is true. Can somebody roll luck for me, please?
I mean, Mackinac.
How much damage does Mackinac take from opening this thing?
We'll
You're
find
the
out in a
one
moment.
fucking around with it. Well, you roll damage. I'm sorry, luck.
Well, why are you jumping to damage so quick there, Daxon?
I don't know.
We're
Well,
just...
we've only had one so far, and it was me, so it's gotta be one of you guys.
It was just a happy little chest. I don't understand.
Relic, you don't want to do it? I'll do it.
I'll do it. I'll do
Okay.
it. I warned you guys and just never make a luck roll. I'm just prefacing this with that.
Oh.
That one was thinking about it.
Are
He's
you
considering things?
smashing it with your mace?
I'm giving it like a light kind of, a little nudge with the mace. Try not to like smash the entire thing, but like, force it open. I imagine it's like rotted wood, so it's like, it's not going to take too much to open it up.
Sure. You don't swing straight down with all your force. Instead, you kind of hit it on the side, and as you do so, use a measured amount of pressure. When you tap the thing, it's just enough to pop off 2 long pieces of wood, allowing you to look inside. They scatter over, hit the back wall, and then with a wooden and sort of dull, wet-ish sound, hit onto the floor. With your green armor there, casting a light into this little alcove, you can see into the chest. And the chest has in it, make a luck roll, please.
Okay. I thought that was a 1.
AIDS! It has AIDS.
No, not AIDS.
Inside of the thing, you find a little, curious-looking blade. It's a dagger, and it looks like it's made entirely out of gold. The other thing that you find is a small little leathery pouch.
Okay. I'll put my mace away and in one hand grab the pouch and the other hand grab the dagger.
Okay. The dagger is an interesting find. It looks like it's fully functional, but probably worth more as a saleable item. It's clearly made like a usable but commemorative piece. The accents on it and whatnot, though, are unfamiliar to you. There's nothing that really links it to maybe a noble house or some sort of faction or whatever. It's just a really nice dagger. The bag has curious contents. Opening the thing up, you see into the pouch that there are 2 little rocks in it, and then what looks to be a small little reddish gem.
Okay. I'll sort of walk around the corner towards my party, items in hand.
Okay.
I have discovered some peculiar items within the chest.
You did. Let's do them.
I'll hand the golden dagger to Dominic. Take a look at the shiny, and I'll
Yeah,
examine the 2 rocks.
I'm gonna grab it and instantly feel pain in my back. Oh no! You can hold on to that. No. Or I'll just like shove it into Colcoat's hands.
Oh, this dagger is very shiny.
There's a little bit of like must attached to it from being in a rotting case for so long, but just a moment of rubbing it on your shirt, you can see like the nice golden color shine through.
Very nice. What's in the bag there, Mackin?
What's in the bag?
It appears to be a gem of some kind, as well as 2 peculiar stones. Examining the thing, do I get since they are magical, interesting? Are they just plain old rock gem?
Make an investigation check.
Oh, 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 oh.
We should roll on these little pogs all the time.
I'm kind of on board with that plan. That's a 6 for investigation.
You don't know if they have any special significance. Why somebody would just put 2 rocks in here, you don't know, but it seems like they're just 2 rocks.
How large are the rocks?
They're each like an inch across.
Can I look at it with Arcana? See if it's magical at all?
You can give them a look and roll investigation as well.
Oh.
While they're doing that, can I just have a look around here and just kind of poke around at the grate and stuff and see if there's anything we're missing?
Sure.
Seeing as how tricky those rats can be.
You can make an investigation check as well, Colcoat.
Investigation is just 14.
You think that these are rocks.
Oh. Oh shit.
21.
21. Looking around in the alcove here, you try to see if you can find anything interesting, and sure enough, you do. On the floor, there are scuff marks that look somewhat recent. You don't know when they were put here, but somebody with heavy metallic or leathern boots has come through the place, and it's curious that the chest has been left alone. The little grate on the left is a little rusty, and is being held down with heavy screws that look like they have long since coated over with rust, undisturbed for probably long decades.
So I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do these tracks look human?
They do look like the scuffs were put down by like shoes, footwear. You can't quite tell if they were human or not. They could have been an elf, maybe a were-rat, who knows? Maybe something different altogether.
Okay. Only humans and elves and my favorite enemies. Alright, well I'm gonna keep an eye out for signs if I can tell what exactly was down here.
Okay.
Solution.
Yes.
I realized we went on the whole shopping adventure, and I never actually made the roll to make the armor, so we're probably not wearing it.
Gotcha.
I assume it's too much to retroactively say make a roll and then say like, yeah, we're wearing it.
We could, but I would change the time so you guys are a bit further into the afternoon.
I mean, I'm okay with that. Are you guys okay with that?
Do you guys want to all lose 1 AC to have your armor give you advantage on the, or not advantage, but a bonus to the bite?
After my horrific experience, yes.
Dominic?
Yeah.
Okay. Are we doing this for Fraildas as well?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I'll change his to 14 AC. Make a armor crafting roll, so blacksmithing.
Lanius -1.
Everyone's AC goes down by 1.
Nice. It's a +6 too.
Since that's a nat 20, I will give you a +5 against the rolls for the poison, or the disease, I suppose.
Sweet.
Just for the initial bite.
Sweet.
Once it's set in, if it does, then you're on your own.
Yeah, fair enough.
Right.
Pseudo magic item. Anti-rat cloak.
Let's see.
Anti-rat armor.
Overcoats. Anti-rat overcoats. No, we have to look like weeaboos. I'm sorry.
They who shall not be named. Somebody falls out of their desk.
Alright, examining these 2 rocks, I am suspicious of them. I would like to take them and gently kind of like knock them together.
Okay. I'd like you to make a luck check, please.
I knew it. That's 4.
You take the 2 rocks and tap them together, and they explode in your hands. A loud, cacophonous boom echoes down throughout this place. And Mackinac, I'd like you to make for me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh, do I have to make that too?
No.
Oh, that's not bad. That's a what my saves? 19.
You take 6 points of damage, force damage, that blast out here, and suffer a little bit of broken metal and whatnot to your hands and arms as a blast goes off in a small, like, foot-by-foot fireball in front of you. The fragments of the rocks land around you.
What was that?
So maybe we don't smash on a unknown.
That
rock.
was unexpected.
Why are you yelling, Mackinac?
Mop, mop, mop.
What do you mean? I believe this to be a normal speaking voice for the situation.
Oh
Oh
no.
my god.
You have to keep it down. We're in the sewers. They're all going to know we're here.
I once knew of a famous bowman who suffered from this exact same thing.
A what, man?
A bowman.
You must
You call
speak up,
him a-
Dominic.
You could call him an archer.
I'm not familiar with the term starcher.
We're gonna have to put him down.
Okay, you deal with that, Dominic.
Just gonna like pat him on the shoulder. Let's get going, buddy.
You can see there's like one of Mackinar's ears has like a stray spring hanging out of it.
Just like slow, just like.
Well,
Hey.
Dominic, I think we should be going now.
I'll
That
point
sound
the
may have
other-
alerted the were-rats.
I'll point him in the other direction and I'll just like try to yank it out.
You go ahead and grab this little spring and pull the thing, and Mackinac, your hearing kind of returns back to normal. Not that you'd really notice it, but you go to speak again and go, oh, I'm speaking a bit loud.
So which way are we going?
I'm just gonna look in here real quick. I know we can't fit, but
There's a
just
small crawl space in front of you. It's something that would be uncomfortable to navigate unless you were a gnome or a halfling, and seems to kind of get a little bit worse further in. But you had seen a were-rat make his way through the place before. You can't quite tell where it goes, though the change in air pressure tells you it must be to some other tunnel or other part of the sewer.
Well, since we can't fit in there, let's check down this other way.
This here is a turn of a hallway. It goes into a little stairway that goes downwards in this direction.
Well, I'll wait for my flashlight and friends. Sure.
Flashlight and friends.
Can we just make Earl hold a torch?
Sure.
Yeah.
Earl is the
Kinda
light
in
source.
the back, yeah. Just
Is
a
a
secondary
light
one.
source as well.
If anything hates light, though, he will be attacked.
That's okay. His fault for not being.
That's rude.
We'll save him, don't worry. We won't let him turn into a rat.
We'll kill him before that happens. Do you guys go down the stairs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mackinar's taking the lead.
You guys
Well,
head
I'll
down
go
the
second.
stairs.
I'm looking for tracks of people too.
Okay. While going down the steps, you see something, and you too, Colcoat. Before you even begin traveling down the steps, you can see tracks. There's scuffs here too. Somebody's been through this place. The stairwell is interesting. The moment you guys turn the corner and begin to traverse down its old, grimy sewer steps, there's a whole bunch of blood everywhere. It coats the walls and lines the ground. You can see that there's a grate up above you, a metallic thing with a bunch of bars that even has the corpse of a were-rat in it. His arm dangles down. And the blood's not fresh, but his arm's clearly covered in it, like he was once bleeding out here. On the ground, you see corpses, many of which are headless were-rats. However, you also see what looks like the corpses of 2 adventurers, one of which looks like a combination between a were-rat and a human, or like he was mid-transformation and then probably killed by his party.
Just a good point at it and just... That could have been you, Coco.
Yes, well, I would hope you would kill me if I become and want to be a rat. Horrible
So
thing.
that craving for cheese?
Well, yes, cheese is delicious. Do you not want cheese?
Maybe not as much.
You guys head further down the steps. Are you messing with the bodies or anything?
They look fresh.
They
Like
look
how
like
fresh?
they're definitely rotting. Like they're old, and they're not really old enough that they're covered in maggots or anything yet, but they have started to decompose a little.
And these people were humans?
It looks like it, yeah.
Okay, so I'll keep trying to track like the rest of these guys' party if they went further into those.
Okay. Make a survival check for me.
Now, would I get advantage? Or not?
I would say for this...
I guess I'm still not totally sure if they're humans or not. I'm just assuming based on the 2 dead.
Yeah, I would make a normal roll here.
Yeah. Oh, I could have used it. That's a 5.
Okay. You think you see the tracks go a little bit further, past these corpses on the ground. Maybe they continued. But then, after following that for a little bit further down the steps, you lose the trail.
I am not as good at tracking in the sewers as I had expected to be.
Well, maybe your mind is preoccupied.
Could go for cheese.
Yeah. No, that's exactly what I meant before.
Enough of that though. Let's keep going. See what we can find.
The stairwell goes down for quite a ways. When you guys get towards the bottom of it, there's a turn, and then a long hallway, which I assume you guys are going down?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys travel down the long hallway for quite a ways, and there's a point where you see an intersection, which, curiously enough, has its other pathways blocked off by rubble, as though portions of the sewer collapsed there. The hall continues to go, and continues to go. And it's when you get towards another turn that you hear something odd. You guys have probably been traveling for, well, maybe an hour since that chest, walking and walking and walking, when around the corner you hear somebody talking, and it sounds like people speaking in common. And one of them says, well, look, it's not exactly easy to do this, okay? And you hear somebody else who goes, I say we just smash it. And another one goes, no, you can't. These kind of things take time.
Do
What do you guys... Do we ambush?
likely on our side? Sound like, well, some of the mercenaries that you were bashing earlier.
They sound too stupid to be alive this deep in the sewers though.
Never underestimate the constitution of those that are stupid.
If they have discovered something, we should investigate to see what it is.
Yes.
Let's offer our service. Anything else? It's better to be in a larger group than not. How do you feel about this, Jodas?
He looks over and he just nods to you.
Just make sure you watch everyone we find out. They start to turn into a rat in any way. Kill them.
He looks at you and says, okay, should I use my bow or should I have the shield first?
Try
You
to
should
keep
use
their
the bow
distance.
and attempt to take them out at range.
He pulls out a bow and knocks an arrow.
But if they get close, get the shield. Do not let them bite you.
Okay, I think I'm ready.
I'll start moving towards the group.
When you turn the corner, Mackinac, you immediately see a group down the hallway. They are lit by a set of torches, and their group numbers as big as, well, it looks like half a dozen of them. And they are not ignorant to your presence. When you turn the corner, you see what looks like a big half-orc wielding a huge axe, and the rest of them look like leather-clad adventurers, all with different-sized crossbows pointed in your direction.
Hello.
Hey. Same side. Are you craving cheese at all?
The fuck's that supposed to mean?
It means are you a fucking rat? That's what it means.
They kind of look at each other and look back at you guys. Do we look like it?
No, exactly. Do we look like it?
You guys just came around the corner on us, okay?
Then put the fucking crossbow down.
They sort of look at each other, and, there's some hushed words that exchange between them that you guys can't hear.
We're not here as your enemies. The only enemies here are the ones that are assaulting our city.
I'm sorry. I've damaged my hearing earlier today. I cannot hear what you were saying. I'm saying this to people whispering.
You haven't noticed there's also a robot in simulacrum. He is, this is his city. So we're clearing it. This is our city as well.
Their
We
group
mean
seems
no
to finish
harm.
up their team huddle, and while you're talking, one of them turns back, and it's the half-orc that calls out, and he says, "This is our spot. You find another one."
We were just wondering if we could exchange information. Usually working as a larger group means safety in numbers. If you haven't noticed, there's a horde of were-rats among us, and getting bit in the wrong way is really devastating.
We're doing just fine. Right, guys? And somebody nods at him. Yeah, fine.
Look,
Well-
we're not here for the bounty. We're just here to kill them.
The
He
heads
kind
are
of looks
yours.
over at the others like this is new information that's worth considering, and they start to whisper amongst each other again. I'd like you to make a persuasion roll, Coco. I don't know why you keep making these. It just...
It's like you're doing it on purpose.
garbage.
You gotta roll it on the pile of tokens.
I know, the other direction.
Okay, they sort of look at each other. One of them turns back and he says, what if I don't believe you?
Then you can take it up with Joffrey, and then you can take it up with Ragriff.
The fuck's Joffrey?
Captain of the guard, the man who's going to be paying you.
They kind of look at each other again.
Quick, say something before I do.
We heard that you were having difficulty with something that needed a delicate approach. Might I offer my services? I'm a skilled craftsman.
The people kind of look at each other, and I'd like you to make a persuasion roll, please, Mackinac.
Akinar's great at these. 9.
We're fine. Don't worry about it.
I see. Oh, in addition, If you ever find two small rocks, do not bang them together.
They kind of look at each other like you're a crazy person.
I hope they find two small rocks.
You see the half-orc scratches his temple for a moment.
Well, if you don't want our help and you don't want to really tell us anything, guess we'll be on our way. Can you at least point us in the direction of the were-rats?
Or at least in the directions that you've cleared.
One of them says, "We've already been through the staircase and the spots up above. I don't know about the rest of this place. Tried to get a map, didn't get anything."
Ah, yeah. Well, we have a map, so have fun.
You have a map?
We have a map, yeah. Then you decide to be rude. We offered services and aid. You decide to be rude. Now have fun being lost.
One of them goes, wait. Say we got off on the wrong foot. That map could be worth some coin. Don't you think?
That map is staying in the hands of the man / simulacrum that currently resides in this city. If you want to join us, you're more than welcome. The map isn't leaving him, though.
Hey, robot guy, you want to sell that map?
I believe the map is of great use to me and my party. Parting with it would put us at quite a disadvantage.
Yeah, but gold's like an advantage, right? What do you say? 25.
I believe at the current time that is not a deal that is in my best interest.
30?
That is still not an adequate.
You hear a whisper. Someone goes, "He's thinking about it."
Calculating.
Ragnar, no. We need that map. We don't die down here. What if we get lost?
I agree. It would not be worth to part with the map for such a small sum.
30 gold's not that bad. What's your price?
I looked cold and Dominic.
You're the
we can't-
mathematician here.
We can't
Is
sell
there,
it.
is there survivability worth more or less than 30 gold?
I thought you said catamatician.
Are you a catamatician now?
It's like, God help us. Well, what
I
do you
do
guys
not
think?
believe you'd be willing to pay the sum that would be required for me to part with this map.
Well, let's hear it.
No, you mercenaries are wasting our time. We must be killing rats. It is not going to happen talking to you here.
You don't know how much we're willing to pay. The map would be useful. Come on, what do you want for it?
Just go whisper to him. Say 100 platinum pieces.
I believe in the current situation, 100 platinum pieces would be appropriate.
Woo! Boss, that's a bit much, isn't it? Yeah. Well, I think we'll be good without the map. But good talking to you guys.
I find that most agreeable. Safe adventuring.
All right.
I do,
Don't
however,
get
have a
bit.
counter-offer.
Uh-huh.
While we would not like to part with the map permanently, we could let you perhaps consult it to gain an understanding of the sewers if you share what you have found in this hallway with us.
Boss, I think they're gonna want to cut. Uh... Alright, well, we got 6. How many do you have?
Currently 5.
What do you say, like a 40-50 split? I mean, shit. 60-40?
Look back, Erlabald looks sick. Look to Mackinac. Well, you're the man with the map. It's your choice.
I believe a 60-40 split is adequate.
Alright, well, come around and stop being strangers then.
I'll walk forward and extend my hand.
Okay.
My name is Maknar.
One of them steps up to meet you. He's a fellow wearing the same sort of leather armor that the rest of the group are. And, there we go. He shakes your hand. And he says, "Call Rain. It's good to meet you." The distinguishing feature of Call Rain is that he has a sort of very strong jawline and a pencil mustache that goes a bit further past and curls up in a little twirl.
I fucking love it.
Well, me and my boys here, we're just, well, come along. Here, let's see that map.
I'll take out the map and kind of show it to him.
Okay. He takes the thing and gives it a look, and he goes, yeah, that's not bad. And he kind of, like, turns it over, like flipping it to one side. Fuck, well, we're probably around here.
I'll point exactly where we are on it.
Sure. Yeah, that's the end of the stairwell. Huh. Well, we're in a good spot then. Here, I'll show you what's up. He turns and leads you guys down the way. And curiously enough, this spot ends at another little metallic grate where some water pours down into a puddle. But a portion of the wall has been messed with. Bricks are missing, and in a space of about 2 feet by 2 feet, where all these bricks have been pulled out, you see what looks like a large sort of lock that's been set in, like there's a hidden wall or a hidden door there. And showing you this thing, one of them kind of holds a torch next to it, and Call Rain continues, and he says, "Yeah, we got a guy working on this, but it's a tricky lock. Any of you guys good with picks? If this map is right, it opens up into a big spot, goes further down. Probably get all sorts of rats down there."
Looking down to examine the lock, do I think I can do anything about it?
The lock looks like it's set in the wall, and is clearly put down as part of a larger construction. It's not like a padlock that's just hanging there. This is probably going to be a bit tricky.
Do I think that I could, like, chisel a lock out of the wall?
With the tools you have, probably not. I'll let you make an investigation check. Kind of give the thing a look and see if you can find, like, a weakness or something in it.
Went from a great roll to a meh. It's a 7.
7. Looking at this door here and investigating the thing, it looks like it's pretty well set. It's old, but unlike the rest of the sewer, not quite as rusty. Maybe these bricks that were hiding the passageway have, well, insulated it from time a little bit. You're not sure what it's going to take to get past this thing, but the keyhole is a little bit large, and the way that it's riveted into the wall betrays a very heavy amount of machinery that was used to set it there. If you're going to get past this thing, you're going to need to probably use magic or explosives to get past it, or pick the lock. Or, of course, get the key.
I'll look at him. Do you think there's anything you can immediately do about it?
So I'm trying to understand. This is like a solid wall with a lock in the middle? Kind of like
Yeah.
see door hinges or like any mechanism?
Yeah, just a wall with a lock set into it.
Like it's clear that it's like a door that's like meant to be opened.
One would imagine.
One would imagine. With the tools I have on me, I believe it would take some time to bypass the lock.
Just gotta look at him. There's something that I've been wanting to try. I'll need to have a little bit of a rest after this, but as long as you're all alright with sitting around for 30 minutes or so afterwards, so let me just recuperate. I think I might have a solution. Well, maybe. I'll at least have more information. Earl, could you pass me that torch?
He coughs and passes you the torch.
Sweet Titan, that's heavy. Oh my god. Alright. I'll be but a moment. And can I cast Blink on myself?
Sure. That's interesting. Blink.
So every 6 seconds, I have a 50% chance. So if I roll 11 or higher, I vanish to the ethereal plane and can move 10 feet. Would I be able to move through the door?
While on the ethereal plane, you can see and hear the plane you originated from, which is cast in shades of gray. You can't see. Can you move through stuff, though? I would say there's like a chance of you doing it, so you could try.
Okay. I could try, that's...
So, I would say that you're inevitably gonna get a d20 roll where you pass through. And statistics-wise, you're probably gonna get 5 shots at this. So, I would say roll luck 5 times. If you can hit an 18 or higher, you phase through the wall.
Did he even need the other 4?
I guess not.
Oh, wow.
You cast a magic on yourself that makes your form appear a little bit sort of like wispy, and you sort of fade from existence there. And a moment later, you try to move through the wall, and you find that you're able to get to the other side. When you pop in there, are you ending the spell?
I won't end it, but I'll just look around just in case I need to get back quickly.
It is completely dark. You can feel like you've passed through the threshold, but you don't really know where you are.
And the torch isn't doing anything?
You took the torch with you, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
On the other side, the torch casts enough light that you can see what looks like a heavy staircase that goes downwards immediately after a small landing.
Is there any sort of lever or anything on that landing?
Sadly, no. You can see the other side of the door, though, from this end, and it clearly has a definition to it. There's like a little rectangle and everything. There's even a handle there. Not one that turns, but a handle that you could use to pull open or close this door. There's a keyhole as well on this side at the center of the door.
Fuck. I want to just try pulling on the door, see if it just unlocks from this side.
Sure. The door doesn't budge. In fact, it feels quite sturdy. It's almost like a vault door. Somebody on the other side can be heard talking, and you guys watch as Colrain turns and goes, "That's a neat trick. Can you guys do that?"
No, I definitely cannot do
I am
that.
unable to.
Are they able to see the torch through the other side of the lock?
No.
I can do this though. I'm gonna spin my pistol.
Colrain nods at you.
Is there anything around the area that immediately looks like it might be able to open this door? Like, is there a key or...
You can make an investigation check.
That's an 8.
You don't find anything, unfortunately. If anything, you just note how strange this spot is compared towards the rest of the sewer. It doesn't smell or reek of sewage. In fact, it's kind of like old and dusty, like you've walked into a new area. That's about it, though. There's nothing for assisting with the door.
I'll try to call through the door and just say, I see nothing immediately here. I'm gonna walk slightly forward, and I'll rush right back. Shouldn't be more than a minute.
You guys hear a muffled voice attempting to communicate something to you through a thick wall. You can't understand it, but it definitely sounds like Dominic's voice. He's made it alive to the other side, at least.
What?
Just gonna go down the staircase, see if it opens up into anything.
The staircase goes on for a little ways. Knowing that your spell doesn't last for very long, it looks like it's going to go further than what you can really manage if you want to keep Blink up.
As soon as I feel like I've gone too far, I'll try to rush back and try one more attempt at getting back through the door.
Make a luck roll, please. You don't have as many checks.
Okay.
You have 2 left, I'd say.
Okay.
Okay. The spell fades. It comes to an end. Your ethereal form is enough to push you through objects sometimes, but there does seem to be some resistance on this second go. You don't think it's anything magical preventing you, just a way the universe works. You end up stranded on the other side of the wall.
I'll cast it again.
Okay. Make some more checks.
Alright, 5.
There it is. Oh,
That's
no.
a 16.
Sorry, 16. I read that as
I know.
19.
I read that as a 19 and then went, nope, that's the upside down version. Oh. Alright, 3 more. Oh,
2 more.
what a tease.
Last one.
Fuck.
And he's trapped.
Okay.
You
Well,
try a
I'll
second
just-
time. Sometimes you can get a little bit through it, pushing your hand through the wall. You feel like you're going to phase through the other side, and then it rejects you and pushes you back. Well, magic has its limitations, I guess.
I'll just set the torch down, sit down, and start taking a short rest.
Okay. You sit down on the other side there. The rest of you guys are on the other, and Coleraine looks over and goes, "You hear him? He was shouting about something."
Dominic, can you hear me? Are you all right?
You can't tell what he's saying, but you can hear Macnar's voice.
I'll just do like a slight knock, like.
Coleraine looks over. I guess he's okay. Or, yeah, he's probably fine.
What
Yeah.
does 2 knocks mean? Did we discuss that?
We did not establish knocking protocol beforehand. That was an oversight.
What if 2 means he's dying?
The half-orc crosses his arms and goes, "Amateurs." Coleraine looks towards one of the sort of skinnier members of the group. He looks like a malnourished street kid of some kind, thrown in some armor that doesn't quite fit him, and gives him a nod. And he pulls out a ring with a bunch of keys on it that you guys recognize as thieves' tools, and he starts to work on the lock once again. You guys appear to be stuck here. This guy works away. He doesn't snap his thieves' tools or anything like that, but it definitely seems to be occupying him quite a bit. While you guys are here, Coleraine turns over, and he says, "Can I see that map again?"
Certainly.
"So, this is where we are." And he kind of points to that little end on the map there. So you guys would have gone down here, there would have been a turn, probably quite a ways, and then another turn, and this is where you guys are. And the next spot on the map, which is of course tough to read because there's so many layers to it, but the next spot on the map is just scribbled out. Somebody's just kind of put like a bunch of stuff over it.
The map doesn't really show what's behind there, does it?
Well, it looks like it used to.
Fraildus, you don't think that's Underdark, do you?
Freyadas looks at the map and then goes, I don't know. But it definitely looks like somebody scribbled it out. It's not like they just didn't finish that part. Coleraine looks over and goes, I don't know about you guys, but I've been in the biz for quite a while. And if somebody is hiding something, that reeks of treasure.
Well, it's probably one of two things. Either locked to keep us out or locked to keep something in.
Well, your friend's okay on the other side, right? Can't be that bad.
I don't know, we didn't discuss what the knocks meant.
He looks over at the wall. Meanwhile, another check later, and this kid continues to work away at the lock. And eventually turns back and says, Boss, I can't do it. And Coleraine looks over and just gives him a pat on the back and says, well, you tried.
Fraildus, do you know how to use these tools?
He gives you a nod and he says, yeah, I'm not really good though. I could try.
You mind if our boy here gives it a shot? We need your tools, though.
Coleraine shrugs, and the boy hands over his tools, and he gives it a go.
Before Feraldas gives it a go,
Mm.
I'd like to cast Enhance Ability and Guidance on him.
Ah, you juice this kid up.
He's juiced.
Okay. Fraildas is incensed, the power of the gods moving through his fingertips. He grabs a hold of this thing and twirls about the thieves' tools with the dexterity of a locksmith master.
Praise Titan.
Well, that's a unnatural 20 plus his modifiers. Stepping down there, he works at it and works at it. And just as Coleraine looks over, he says, I don't think the boys got... And then there's a click, just like a ch, and you hear the sound of like a bunch of pressurized mechanisms almost in the door being set off. And Dominic, you can feel the whole wall move, and it sort of changes the pressure in the area. And the door swings a little bit, and you see your party again. And Fraildas looks over and he goes, I did it! I did it!
Not the
I'm
boy,
proud of you.
Fraildus.
Woo!
Proud of you, kid. I was actually just starting to really enjoy the silence.
He walks over and he looks at you, Mackinac, and he says, can you cast that on me, like, more often? I feel good.
I can only do so a limited number of times per day.
He looks at you and he says, how limited?
At the moment, 3 times.
Oh, that's plenty. He looks over, he's like filled with energy, his face is beaming. You can see behind him, Fraildas hasn't even noticed that the kid who owns those thieves' tools is like waiting with his hand outstretched to have them handed back, and Fraildas hasn't even noticed. He's like, did you see how I got that?
Fucking
Did
junkie.
quite well.
The kid taps him on the
I'm
shoulder, and
holding that.
Fraildas turns around and goes, oh yeah, here, thanks, and like hands them back.
We can get you a set when we're back on the surface, Fraildus.
He nods to you. And Dominic, are you stepping back up to your party?
I'm just gonna keep saying that. I am trying to get back. I tapped myself a little bit, so just give me like, I don't know, 10 more minutes. I think just kind of sitting, resting. It's nice having fresh air again.
Coleraine
Look
looks
around.
over and he says, I know how it is with you magic types. We used to have one too, always talking about rest.
It's not so much taxing on the body. It's becomes a little bit taxing on the mind. Anyway.
Dominic, what do you mean fresh air? I'll take a couple steps forward and take a breath.
It is musty in here, And it's not sewage, so it's definitely different, but it's not super pleasant either. The air is like stale instead of like dirty.
Look all around you. Something old got locked up in.
Yes, it does
Whether
not
that's-
smell like sewer.
Whether that's good or bad, I don't know.
The half-orc steps in and gives a whiff as well, and then looks to you approvingly, Dominic, and says, "Smells like treasure. Old treasure."
Whatever it is, it's gonna be fun. Are you glad that you said yes now?
He gives a nod and says, "If 60%'s good with the boss, then it's good with me."
There.
So anyway, who's your boss?
What do you think? It's a big robot that can't die.
Titan.
He looks over and stares at Mackinac and goes, I bet he could die.
Yeah, maybe. Take a long goddamn time, though. I wouldn't test it.
The orc scratches at his chin as he examines you, Mackinac.
I'll helpfully mention, simulacrum are known to be very long-lived.
And I'll just also look at him and just say, hey, have you ever fought Yan T before?
He shakes his head.
We have. Been in the heart of their jungle. This guy, couldn't fucking put a dent in it. I wouldn't test his might and metal.
The half-orc nods,
Oh.
but then counters, saying, well, those Yuan Ti aren't very smart, are they?
They're incredibly smart. That's the thing.
I bet I's 10 times more tactical than they are.
Potentially. But do you have their magic?
Don't need it. And he flexes.
Fair enough, I like your style.
He looks over at you, Mackinac. Are you also impressed? Well, that's not good.
He's an adequate specimen of an organic.
That's a little creepy. That's not what you want to hear out of the robot in the party. With that, the group sets in for a little bit of a rest. And
I would like to, while we're resting, because Macro doesn't really actually have a reason to rest, examine the lock.
ah, okay.
It seems like a cool lock. It's like built into the wall that, you know, the street thief couldn't pick. Like to
Sure.
replicate it if I could at some point.
Yeah, you can see it from both sides. You can also examine a bit of the door. Make an investigation check. See if you can find something more about this.
Do I want to use the amulet on this?
Yeah.
I'm feeling like EXs might come in handy later on. Throw in the amulet on it.
Okay.
Can I throw guidance as well on myself? Just give me like super
Sure.
buff time.
Yeah, you're prepping.
Super buffs.
Can I look around just on the other side of the
Fraildas itches his neck.
Yeah,
It's a
I'm more of that-
14 plus 1 plus 1, 16.
16? Okay.
That juice.
Sorry.
Looking at the door now that it's open, and you can see both sides of it, small details become apparent. The most alarming of which is the way that some of the nails have been set into the door, and also the stonework. When you kind of lean back, you have a sneaking suspicion that what you are looking at was not made by human hands, though it certainly mimics human hands.
Ooh.
You may have stumbled into some strange unknown mystery here in the sewer. The more that you look at it, the rock walls and their bricks do seem to take on a bit of a different shape from the other side of the wall. It's like somebody has tried to recreate the look of a sewer staircase, but not done so perfectly.
As avid, scavengers, have we seen anything like this before?
I would say no. With a 16, no. But you can tell something is up. So you guys sit down and lay about for a bit. pulling out some torches, sitting down with some rations. Some of the other party members, chit-chat. Others seem like they're a bit standoffish. Colrain, though, the leader at least, seems to be on your side. He seems to be cheery and tends to want to look at the map quite a bit and studies it during the rest. But you guys do get a short rest, so get back what you would. If you want to roll hit dice, do so. And we will end the session there, poised for what lurks at the bottom of this staircase.
I'm gonna roll one hit die.
Please do.
Hey, back to max.
So, with the group poised for an adventure next time, and with Erlebald joining you guys here, ready to step into whatever it is, you guys seem to have picked up a good number of NPCs. I think you did pretty good. You also managed to cure Coalcoat, which is the big one, and talk with the guard, buy some things. You increased the revenue of one sweet little herbalist in the town, and are ready for some new stuff next time. So, to all the players, well done. Audience and patrons, good to have you. And we'll see you guys tomorrow for a one-shot that we're running with half of Wednesday group. Adios.
Nice. Peace. Now we can finally tell Soup that you were almost almost a rat for life.
Oh,
Or
thank,
did we just
thank
not
God.
tell him about the were-rats?
You guys played it pretty close to the bit. He was like 90% into it.
Yeah, that was close. Thank goodness for a couple of your guys of good rolls. Force me.
Yeah, you started rolling really well there, and I was really worried.
I mean, you gotta resist, right? Once you start wanting to be the rat.
I thought you played it pretty well. I like the deception check where it's like, there's cheese in there. Hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Somebody's lying here.
Ain't no cheese.
Pretty good. Pretty good. What do you guys think is down that stairwell?
More
Not
pile
were-rats.
of little tiny rocks that explode.
Interesting. You just, at the end of it, it's just a pool filled with pebbles, and Machinar's like, oh no. We're done for.
They all form together and turn out to be a fucking pebble elemental. Oof.
That or the half work is just like, what? Don't rub them together. Don't hit them. Like, I don't know. I can't listen to that.
Guys, look at this. He's just holding two rocks. No. Slow motion. And yeah, I think I'm gonna kill stream there. Peace out.
Yeah.